Hello everyone, this is Bruce from Krakengypsies, and today we'll be doing Garen's campaign, Part 2, The Heart of a Warrior. This is his 2-star campaign. These are the special roles. Basically just adds a common relic to the foe's weakest unit with no items. And the reward is the loose cannon's payload. 5 fragments and 3,000 legend points. Now we have a level 7 Garen, he is 2 stars. So we'll see how well we do. I don't expect this to go incredibly well, especially without a rare relic immediately. These are our first powers. We'll be choosing Grit. So for most of Garen's units, they're pretty balanced. However, since he has his strike power, I believe it is. Nope, his strike power gives him 1/1/2. Alright, well, we'll just wait until we can get something for reinforcements then. Okay, here we'll be replacing Remembrance and both of our sharp sights. They do start with the attack token though. Here we'll be dropping down the Vanguard Defender.
Ready for deployment.
They choose to attack with their Scrap Scuttler. We're able to block without taking damage and gaining stats, in fact. And that takes us to our attack turn. Here what we'll do is we'll drop down the Fleet Feather Tracker.
Take from the rich, give to me.
And now we'll drop down the Bright Steel Protector, and we'll be giving the barrier to the Fleet Feather Tracker. So what we'll do is we'll attack with all 3 of our units and challenge with the Fleet Feather. And we'll end the round there.
How can I help?
We'll drop the Laurent Blade Keeper. Laurent Blade Keeper, sorry. And we'll be buffing our Vanguard Defender.
Beauty in the blade.
Check out the goods on this one.
I pity you.
Shield up. Stand strong.
Like my blade.
And we'll be blocking accordingly. This way we take out the most of their units and we don't lose any of them. It is turn 5, so we'll be dropping down Garen.
My heart and sword for the mossy.
And now we'll be attacking with all of our units. And we'll be challenging one of them at least with our Fleet Feather Tracker. And we're going to commit to that attack. And this lets us win the first match. I did just wake up, so I apologize if I'm yawning constantly. We'll be picking the Laurent Duelist here. And we're going to go into the support champion. We will reroll this. And we'll reroll once more. And we'll go for Vi. And next we'll go into the Bright Steel Protector. I want to replace Shoot Up here. And now I want to drop down the Vanguard Defender.
Approaching the battlefront. turn the tide.
And I'll be attacking with it as well. Now I have unit advantage, which is great.
You're covered.
Here we'll drop down the Laurent Protégé.
Break their spirits and their swords.
And we'll block it once again with the Vanguard Defender.
Demacian steel protects me.
Here we'll drop down the Fleet Feather Tracker.
My shield is yours.
And now we'll be attacking with all of our
You
units.
call this a fight?
Unfortunately, we can only challenge with one, and that's okay. And we'll commit to this attack.
Shield up.
Here we'll be using single combat. And we'll be having our Vanguard Defender attack their Bright Steel Protector, which gives us more damage to their Nexus as well. And also removes her barrier,
My duty's done.
which allows the Fleet Feather Tracker to stay alive. And that brings us into their attack turn.
Laurents are born with blades in hand.
Here we'll be dropping down our Bright Steel Protector, and we'll be protecting the Vanguard Defender.
Against the Laurent? Ha!
And we'll defend accordingly.
Another will catch it.
Now we'll drop down the Vanguard Redeemer,
Our ancestors are watching.
and we'll end the round there. That brings us back into our attack turn. I'm thinking of what we should do first. I think I'm just going to go straight into an attack.
I demand satisfaction.
And I'll be challenging her. But before I do that, I want to use single combat once again. And this helps us win the match. Okay, so they use single combat on us. So what we can do in return, since we'd be losing 2 damage, is we'll buff one of our units with both of our sharp sights,
Press on.
which allows us to continuously, I don't know, which it basically allows us to do the same damage as before, since they challenged a unit that had 2 damage. Got rid of a unit that had 2 damage. We'll pick Gotcha here. With it having Plunder, it's really good for us. And we'll give... Nah, we'll reroll this actually. Okay. So, I guess we'll give Garen Giant's Belt. That way he's harder to kill. And now we're going up against Cythriel. And she has the enemy power Battle Hardened. When one of the foe's units kills a unit and it survives, transform it into the next strongest Cythria. Now, this is a pretty difficult match, I would say, because she's going to scale unless we can kill our units, which is going to be tricky.
I'm actually here.
So we'll drop down the Bright Steel Protector for
You're
now,
covered. I'll do my best.
but we're going to have to skip this block and let them attack into us. And now we'll drop down the Patrol Wardens,
Just keeping the peace. New recruit reporting in.
and we'll be attacking with it as
We're
well.
going in.
Whoa! Hey! What could have been? My journey continues. Charge!
So basically, no matter what we do, we want to make sure that the foe doesn't survive after we do things.
What seems to be the problem?
So we'll be blocking the 3-3 with our patrol wardens, and we'll commit to this attack. Actually, I'll be using sharp sight on it so it lives. And I'll commit to that attack. They do use barrier on it, so what I can do... Oh, I can't do that, never mind. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. That's okay. I'll drop down the Bright Steel Protector this turn.
I've got your back.
And get barrier to patrol wardens, which it doesn't matter at this point. The reason why I wanted to do that is just to have an extra unit, in fact. And here we'll drop down Garen.
We fight for those who cannot.
And I'll be attacking with the patrol wardens,
Move out.
the Bright Steel Protector,
Honor guide
both
me.
of them, and Garen.
Protect and strike. For my homeland.
Let this sheriff.
And we end the round there.
Stay resolute.
We're finally back in. We're finally back to having an advantage here.
Still so much to learn.
We'll drop down the Vanguard Defender.
Hold the line.
Steady, soldiers.
And here we'll be blocking with Garen.
Stand ready.
Press on.
We must not relent.
Doing that, of course, got rid of their unit, leveled up
Please,
Garen,
no.
and now we'll get the rally token every turn.
Who does not know the name Laurent?
Here we'll be attacking with all of our units,
My steel is yours.
and that should be match point. Here we'll pick this. I guess we'll go with the Swift Wing Lancer. And now we either have the Perfectionist or a shop. We do have 460 gold, so I'm going to go towards the shop. And here we'll take Vault Breaker, that is Poro Snacks. And we'll also take Stand United. But before we do that, we want to check the power. They have Endurance here, which is good for us because it's basically Garen Strike power. As long as they survive. And yeah, I think we're just gonna take these cards and go into the healing node. And after this, we're full health. And now we're up against Lux.
Let's light it up.
And Lux has the power Blinding Light. The foe's final sparks cost 2 more and deal 4 more. Here we'll be replacing Vi, as well as Remembrance, Laurent Bladekeeper, and we'll keep the Laurent Protege.
Denounce magic. I see all.
They decided to drop down the Mage Seeker Persuader and to attack. I don't know why it's playing so slow all of a sudden. Kind of weird. Alright, so we're going to drop down the Laurent Duelist.
Let us settle this with grace and civility.
Confine and contain.
And we'll be using Suit Up. And now we'll be attacking.
You're slouching.
Halt.
I was hoping that they'd block with the Mage Seeker Conservator. Give me a second.
Take a look at this.
Okay. Hopefully things should be a little bit better now.
Stand in judgment.
Okay, so they use the Conservator to challenge my Laurent Duelist. What we're going to do is use single combat to get rid of the other Mage Seeker. I don't know why the card's flashing like it does whenever I'm hovering over it. So I'll try to not do that. I don't want people having any issues. Okay, and now I'll drop down to Patrol Wardens.
Citizen.
Okay. The opponent took quite a while to pass for it to be our turn. It's interesting. We'll drop down Garen here.
We fight for those who cannot.
And we're going to attack with all of our
You'd
units
be right to fear me.
for 24 damage. They use Sands of Time to reduce our damage. So we're only doing 18. We don't have anything in hand to respond with because we don't have any mana. They summon a random landmark. And they end the round.
The sun is shining. We should too.
They finally dropped down Lux. And so what we can do is we can drop down the Swift Wing Lancer.
Illuminate the enemy.
They decide to play Shield of Duran and to attack with Lux. We'll be
Fear is
blocking
the
with
first
Garen,
of many foes.
which will then remove Lux's barrier and buff Garen, as well as level him up.
I will not falter! Stay resolute.
Okay. So, we're going to attack with all of our units.
Slouching.
No matter what she does, this is pretty much over. So, we're going to commit to this attack. It should do 28 damage if they do nothing. It does 21, negative 21. Here we'll go for the rally banner on Garen. And now we have another power to pick from. We'll go for the best defense here. And we're going to go up against the Dauntless Vanguard. They have the power for Demacia. Whenever the round ends, if one of the player's units died this round, the foe summons a Dauntless Vanguard. Dauntless Vanguard are normally 3/3 units. I believe with the power that's the global power might change that, and they might be stronger than before, but we'll see. We'll replace our Piltover cards. Fortunately, once again, there isn't all that much for us to do turn 1,
You're covered.
except for drop down the Bright Steel Protector.
I'm actually here.
And
I'll do
no
my
matter
best.
what, they're doing damage to
I'll
us,
stop
and
you.
they'll have unit advantage on us. Here we'll drop down the Laurent Protégé.
Break their spirits and their swords. Run them
And
through.
we'll be attacking and challenging Cythria. That way we shouldn't lose our unit. So they don't get another Dauntless Vanguard.
Yeah, I'm up.
Here we'll drop down the Fleet Feather Tracker. And we'll be blocking
I'll close my eyes, make it fair.
the Loyal Badger Bear with our Laurent Protégé. And we will also be sacrificing our Burb to take out the Grizzled Ranger, which of course, yeah, we'll block like this. They'll get 2 Dauntless Vanguards out of this though, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is, I think. Okay, so they only get 1. So that's the cap. Alright. That makes things easier for us. We'll drop down Garen here.
My heart and sword for Demacia.
We'll attack with both. They don't have any mana.
Riposte? Hardly
So we
fair.
will be challenging
Aha!
the Loyal Badger Bear.
Hardly
I had to decide which one we challenge, of course, based on their stats. Okay, we'll end the round there.
Stay resolute.
So now we have some 2 really strong units, where both their attack and their health are going to be matching each other, basically, and feeding into each other. So as you can see, they have more units than us currently. And they have 2 challengers as well, so that's something else to keep in mind. We'll drop down a Swift Wing Lancer, and they decided to end the round, so we'll take that. We'll drop down the Patrol Wardens,
Just keeping the peace.
and they use Reinforcement, which summons 2 Dauntless Vanguards, and then they buff everything by 1 apparently, or something to that extent. We'll be dropping down the Bright Steel Protector and giving barrier to our Swift
My
Wing
shield is
Lancer,
yours.
and we'll be attacking with most of our units.
You call this
We'll be using Sharp Sight on our Patrol Wardens. That way, no matter what happens, they'll survive, and we'll come into this attack.
face me.
And we'll use single combat from Garen to take out one of the... Sorry. I picked the wrong person to use single combat. My bad. We'll be using Garen to do single combat against the Dauntless Vanguard.
Press the advantage.
And this levels Garen up. He also gets a minor stat buff as well from striking.
Helmet.
And one around there. We'll attack once again with all of our units this time.
I demand satisfaction.
And we will be challenging who we can, and we'll commit to this attack. Yep, everything's good.
Take my helmet.
They use Succession, which drops down a Dauntless Vanguard. We'll use Single Combat to get rid of it fast. And they use Single Combat to get rid of one of our Bright Steel Protector. Yeah, Bright Steel Protectors. So we'll be giving it Barrier. And we'll drop down the Nimble Poro. Why not? And we'll end the round there. And this upcoming turn, we should be able to defeat them. They only have 2 cards left in their hand. We have a card advantage. As long as they don't use any spells, we should win this. Yep. Okay, and that takes us to the rewards for defeating them. We'll go for the Vanguard Redeemer. And now we're going into the item chest and into a store. We'll choose the Fleet Feather Tracker with Dragon Tooth. Now we're going into the shop. There's nothing immediately that like screams I need to buy it. We can use Memory Game. I think it's okay. It's not like the greatest thing ever. And after this is going to be an item chest. So we'll make sure we use all of our gold, in fact. We'll get Cythria. We'll get 2 copies of her. And we'll call it there. Yeah, we don't need anything else. We'll be going up against the Sump Snipe Scavenger. They have secret tunnels. They're elusive units that have 1/1. We'll be replacing our entire hand. We'll be dropping down the Bright Steel Protector.
My shield is yours.
Unfortunately, every time we used it, we
So long, City
haven't
of
used it
Progress.
correctly. So we're not able to utilize the barrier on its play effect.
I got the goods.
Here we'll actually drop down another one,
You're
thanks
covered.
to our Memory Game power. And we are forced to pass.
Nothing stops
They
adventure.
attack with all their units. We could
Shield
only
up.
block one, so we'll be blocking using the one that has barrier, which then increases their power. And we'll be doing the same thing over again. This time we'll be giving barrier to
got your
the
back.
2/1 that we have.
My invitation is right. Oh no.
And now we'll be using single combat to get rid of their Intrepid Mariner.
Bury me at sea.
And we'll be attacking
Honor guide
with
me.
our Bright Steel Protector that has barrier. We'll end the round there.
What you looking
Here
for?
we'll drop down Garen.
We fight for those who cannot.
They choose to attack, which is their Daring Poro. Since it's elusive, we aren't able to block it. This turn, I'll drop down the Laurent Blade Keeper, and I'll be buffing Garen.
For the honor of my house. Something need breaking?
Now I'll be using single combat and taking out there, Darren Poro. With Garen. That lets me partially complete his strike passive. And I'll also
My steel is
be
yours.
attacking
Honor guide
with
me.
just about all my units except the weaker Bright Steel Protector.
No closer.
Both says I gotta break you.
Now this lets us take out 3 of their units while they take out 2 of ours.
Press the advantage!
And while we level up Garen.
Press on. My duty's done.
Stay resolute.
Here we'll drop down another Laurent Bladekeeper. And we'll be buffing one of the Bright Steel Protectors.
Laurents are born with blades in hand.
They do use Gotcha, which also has Plunder. It's kind of funny. We'll be using single combat here. And we'll be getting rid of the Middenstock Henchman. Which gets rid of their Gotcha. And now we'll drop down the Vanguard Defender.
Hold the line.
Steady.
And we'll be attacking with all of our units.
Demacia!
Depending on how they block, we'll still do Nexus damage to them regardless.
Press on.
And thanks to Garen, we now have Rally. We're now capable of ending this match
Do what is right.
right here, I believe. And we'll commit to this attack. Yep, we have exactly the amount of damage that we need. Just for fun, I'll use single combat here. It doesn't matter either way. And we win by doing exactly as much damage as we need to. Here we'll be picking the Swift... Actually, no, we won't. We'll go for a Relentless Pursuit. The Titanic Sensor is pretty good. And we'll go into the item chest. We'll be going for a Quick Strike Blade on Garen. That lets me get to his level up requirements faster. We have the Healing Node. We healed 7, which takes us to 25 health. And now we're up against Jinx.
I like you.
And Jinx has the power Rockets Go Boom. When the foe attacks, they play Super Mega Death Rocket. We'll be replacing Suit Up in Remembrance. They drop down a Cyanide Urchin, and they discard the Flame Trompers, which summons it. We'll be dropping down our Fleet Feather Tracker.
Anything else?
And now they have unit advantage, using all their Zonite Urchins and discarding correctly. And they also have a Super Mega Death Rocket, since they are attacking. So, no matter who I block, our Fleet Feather Tracker will be defeated. Thanks to this rocket. Just kidding, it only does 1 to units. Well, I wish I knew that. We'll drop down Cythria.
I'm actually here.
We'll drop down our Fleet Feather Tracker. And we'll attack with our Fleet Feather Tracker. And we'll be using single combat to get rid of their Boom Baboon.
The Sunbrook got me good.
Here we'll drop down our Patrol Wardens.
Just keeping the peace.
And we'll drop down Bright Steel Protector. And we'll be putting Barrier on our Cythria.
My shield is yours.
They decide to end the round, so we'll take that. And now it's our attack turn, and it's turn 5, so we summon Garen.
For king and country.
Since Garen has Quick Strike Blade, that lets us level him up on this turn once we do our normal attack, which will happen right now.
I'll do my best.
We'll use the Fleet Feather Tracker to challenge the unit that has the most damage, and we'll continue with this attack. So they are using a couple spells here to get things going, to try to thwart our attack attempt.
I will not falter!
And won the round there.
Stay resolute.
We took out a lot of their units that round. Here we'll be attacking with all of our units once again. This time challenging a Flame Tromper, and we'll commit to this attack. And now we'll be using single combat from Garen to destroy the Boom Baboon that they just summoned. And they played the last of their hand. So we'll drop down the Laurent Protégé.
Who does not know the name Laurent?
And won the round there. Here we'll be attacking with all of our units as we have been, and we'll commit to this attack as is. At this point, any attack we do is just going to buff our units up, and they're not really capable of destroying any of our units at this point. Here we'll use Relentless Pursuit to give us rally. They don't have any units on the board. They only have one card in their hand as well. So we will be ending the round here and doing quite a bit of overkill damage to their Nexus as well. And that will be 2-star completion of, the 2-star campaign for Garen. We hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize for misspeaking so much. I hope you guys found that funny at least. All these videos are unscripted. I hope it was also informative, although with how much I was misspeaking, I don't know how much you'd be able to learn. Basically, whenever you're playing a champion that revolves around striking to level up, you want to go for quick strike blades, and you want to be using relics like the Stalker's Blade or the Gatekeeper's thingamajigger. Alright, anyways, this is Bruce from Krakengypsies signing out. If you like what we do, feel free to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Twitch. Links in the description below. Same with the timestamps. Stay Kraken, everyone.